Hello you guys, let's talk about solving equations using addition or subtraction. So let's talk about vocabulary. An equation is something that has a variable and an equal sign. So something like x minus 8 equals negative 3. It's an equation because of the equal sign right there. The solution is just the answer. And then you can cross out equivalent equations. I'll show you that when we're doing some work here. But this is really important, the inverse operation. I want you to underline that in red. Inverse means it's something that destroys what you see. So you're going to see something on the paper and you're going to destroy it, okay? Okay, so let me show you how this works. Look at subtraction property of equality. That means we're going to subtract to solve the equation. Well, look at the equation they gave us. X plus 9 equals 12. The first thing I want you to do is write it with your black pen or your pencil. X plus 9 equals 12. And then the next thing I want you to do with your red, so with your red pen, circle the variable, and I want you to put a wall underneath the equal sign. Now here's the deal with the wall. Whatever you do on one side, you have to match on the other, okay? Now here's the trick. Look at that circle that's touching your variable. It's like a force field. We're going to protect the x, so we're not going to hurt it at all. But what we want to destroy is anything that's touching the circle, that's touching our x. So do you see how adding 9 is touching the circle? We want to destroy adding 9. And the way you destroy it in algebra is by using the inverse. So if you see adding 9 on the paper, you're going to subtract 9 to destroy it. Now whatever you do on the left-hand side, you have to copy on the right-hand side. So put subtracting 9 on the left-hand side of the wall and subtracting 9 on the right-hand side of the wall. And now we just simplify. So our x kind of floats down, okay? Think of a skydiver just floating down. And then a positive 9 plus a negative 9 made 0. So a lot of my students like to just strike it out because it goes away. Or you could put a plus 0 if you wanted, but it's gone. It became a 0. It disappeared. And then let the equal sign slide down the wall. Just like a fireman slides down the pole, the equal sign has to slide straight down. And then of course 12 minus 9 just gives you 3. So our answer is x equals 3, and we box our answer. Take a look at example 2. If they gave us x plus 7 equals negative 13. So again, I want you to write it exactly like they gave it to us. X plus 7 equals negative 13. And now, with your red, I want you to circle the variable and bring that wall straight down underneath the equal sign. And the trick is, look at what's touching the circle. See how adding 7 is touching that circle. We need to destroy that. So the opposite of adding 7 is to subtract 7. So whatever I do on the left-hand side of the wall, I have to copy on the right-hand side of the wall. So then we just simplify, okay? The x in the circle just floats right down. It's like the bubble pops and it floats safely down. And then a positive 7 plus a negative 7, or you could just think 7 minus 7 destroys each other. That became 0, so they disappear. Let the equal sign slide down the pole. And then negative 13 minus 7, or you can think of negative 13 plus negative 7, makes negative 20. So our answer is x equals negative 20, and you box your answer. Okay, so the addition property of equality means we're going to be using addition to solve these equations. So I'm taking this equation right here. X minus 6 equals 1. And notice how I wrote it in the margin. I want you to do that. And now with your red, add a line, change the sign. So the equation becomes x plus negative 6 equals 1. Now, with your red, circle the variable and bring that wall straight under the equal sign. And remember, the trick is look at the circle. Look at what's touching the circle. I see adding negative 6. Well, the only way that I can get rid of that negative 6 is to add its opposite, its inverse. I'm going to add positive 6 to both sides of the wall. I'm going to add a positive 6 on both sides. So then, watch what happens. The x in the safety bubble just floats straight down. Okay, the x comes straight down. But a negative 6 plus a positive 6 destroy each other. They became 0, so they disappeared. And then the equal sign slides down the pole, straight down, and then 1 plus 6 gave us 7. So our solution is x equals 7, and we box our answer. Okay, take a look at the algebra example because I think you're ready to hear that now. Let's say that I had x minus a equals b, and I want to solve for x. So I wrote x minus a equals b down here on the paper, and then with my red I added a line and changed the sign. So now the equation is x plus negative a equals b. So with my red, I circled the x, I want to protect it, and I brought down the wall underneath the equal sign. Now remember, the trick is always look at what's touching the circle, because that's what you have to destroy. I see adding negative a is touching the circle. Well, the only way I can destroy that negative a is to add a positive a on both sides of my wall. So that's what I did, and then I just simplify. So see the x in the bubble? Pretend the bubble pops and it floats straight down. I just have x. Now, negative a plus a positive a destroy each other. They became 0 and they disappeared. And then let the equal sign slide down the pole. And then b plus a, we just wrote b plus a. So x equals b plus a. Okay, so look at example 3 with me. They have t minus 5.8 equals 16. So I copied it exactly like they gave it to me. T minus 5.8 equals 16. And then with my red, I added a line and changed the sign. And now I have t plus negative 5.8 equals 16. So with your red, I want you to circle the variable and bring the wall straight down underneath the equal sign. And remember, the trick is look at what's touching the circle. I see adding negative 5.8. So the only way I can destroy it is to add its opposite. I add a positive 5.8 on both sides of my wall. Remember, whatever I do on one side, I have to copy on the other. And then I just simplify. So see how my t was in the bubble? I just let the bubble pop and it floats straight down. And then a negative 5.8 plus a positive 5.8 destroy each other. So you can cross it out. They just became 0. They're gone. And then let the equal sign slide down the pole. Bring the equal sign down. And then we just lined up the decimals and added those numbers. 0 plus 8 gave me 8. I brought the decimal down. And 16 plus 5 gives me 21. So my answer, my solution is t equals 21.8. And I box my answer. Take a look at the guided practice number 1. Y plus 4 equals 13. So copy the equation exactly like they gave it to you. And then with your red, circle the variable, bring the wall down underneath the equal sign. Now remember, the trick is look at what's touching the circle. I see adding 4. So the only way I can get rid of adding 4 is to subtract 4. Or you can think of it as adding a negative 4. It means the same thing. So whatever I do on one side, subtracting 4, I'm going to copy on the other side of the wall, subtracting 4, and now I just simplify straight down. So the y drops straight down. Okay, a positive 4 plus a negative 4 destroy each other, so you can cross them out. They become 0. Let the equal sign slide straight down the pole, and then 13 plus negative 4 made 9. So our answer is y equals 9. Okay, look at number 2. Negative 17 equals 7 plus t. So copy the equation exactly like they gave it to you. And then with your red, circle the t to protect it and bring the wall down underneath the equal sign. Now, it doesn't matter that they put the variable on the other side. Remember the trick. You just look at what's touching the circle. See, adding 7 is touching the circle. So the only way to destroy adding 7 is to subtract 7 on both sides of the wall. So that's what I want to see you do. And then we just simplify, okay? So negative 17 plus negative 7 made negative 24. And then I let the equal sign slide straight down the pole. And then a positive 7 plus a negative 7 destroyed each other. So cross them out, they became 0. And then let the t slide straight down. So you have negative 24 equals t, which is the same whether you read it forward or backwards. You could also read it as t equals negative 24, and you're done. Okay, so let's talk about number 3. N minus 11 equals 14. Well, Well, right away when I see a minus sign, I add a line and change the sign. So that gave me the equation n plus negative 11 equals 14. Now grab your red pen, circle the variable, and bring your wall straight down underneath the equal sign. And remember, the trick is look at what's touching the circle. I see adding negative 11. So the only way I can destroy adding a negative 11 is to add a positive 11. Add the opposite. And so I'm going to add a positive 11 on both sides of the wall. And then I just simplify. I let the n float straight down, okay? And then negative 11 plus positive 11 became 0. They destroyed each other, so cross them out. Let the equal sign slide down the pole, straight down. And then 14 plus 11, of course, gives you 25. All right, take a look at number 4. We have negative 2 equals s minus 3.5. So with my red, I added a line and changed the sign. So look at what the equation became. It became negative 2 equals s plus negative 3.5. So now with your red, circle the variable and bring the wall straight down underneath the equal sign. The trick is look at what's touching the circle. I see adding negative 3.5. So the only way for me to destroy it is to add the opposite. I'm going to add positive 3.5 on both sides of the wall. Okay, now to simplify this, I needed to show a little bit more work. See how I have negative 2 plus positive 3.5. Well, remember, the positives are going to win this battle, so I'm going to put the positive 3.5 on top, the 2 on the bottom, and I'm going to subtract. But since they're decimals, I had to line up the decimal and add that 0 after the 2. So 5 minus 0 gave me 5. 3 minus 2 gave me 1, so I get 1.5. Now, it's a positive 1.5 because the positives had more. That's how I got positive 1.5. And then let the equal sign slide straight down the wall. Let the s come straight down, it's safe. And then remember, negative 3.5 plus positive 3.5, they destroyed each other. So you can cross them out, they became 0.